Greetings from Dystopia, episode 124. How many inches are these fish? Posted a thing about microfishing yesterday, and old friend sent me a message this morning. He's like, wait, microfishing, how big are these fish? So 1 inch, 2 inch, 4 inch. See the tie? Anyway, yeah, why not? You know, I've talked about this before, but as anglers, you know, as a fisherman, you start out as a kid. You fish with a cane pole and a worm, and you're catching little bluegills or sunfish. You know, and as you get older, you go after bigger and bigger fish, more exotic fish. As you get older, it becomes more about just the fish. There is a subset of anglers that specifically fish for small fish, microfish. In Japan, there's tanago, which is fishing for one specific fish called a tanago. Can't remember the English or American equivalent. It is a small, I'm not sure if it's a cyprinid, but it looks like a small carp, a very high back on it. And the goal of tanago is to catch the smallest fish possible of that species. And then there's variations of it. You know, it's the little tournaments where they're just going after the smallest fish where it doesn't matter. That's always interested me. But there's also another group of anglers who have the mentality of, okay, I've caught every freshwater game fish species. What else can I catch? And that's when they start making these bucket lists or life lists of fish. And then they quickly realize that 70% of fish are actually minnow and smaller. So then we start chasing it. I don't want to necessarily include myself in that. I fish for the smaller fish just because of the challenge. But there is always the surprise of, hey, I've never caught this fish before. So for that, you need a little fish guide like I've got in the back here from Peterson's. It shows you, like, this one is all of North America, I believe. And then you start identifying the fish. So tick, 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 you know. Tick them off that life list or bucket list. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I enjoy doing it. Like I said, it's not so much because I'm chasing specific fish, but it's just the challenge of catching these small fish. And you've all seen my love of creeks, and creek fishing includes a lot of those minnow species, particularly creek chubs. I don't know what it is about creek chubs, but they have always fascinated me. They've always been on my list of fish to catch every year. Sometimes they're little bitty guys, 2-3 inches. Sometimes they're 8-9 inches. Told you guys there's that whale over there in Shadow Creek. He will get caught. He'll slip up just like most fish do. He'll get greedy, and I'll bag him and measure him. I don't necessarily see a state record for Illinois, but it looks like one of the larger records in the Midwest, we'll say, is 11.5 inches. So there you go. There's not really a record kept for them, at least in Illinois, because they're not considered a game fish. So I guess I'll have to argue for that one. But yeah, I love it. From the gear. The gear cannot be the gear. The gear can be almost anything. So I've seen people use willow branches. I've been camping before and said, I feel like fishing. And I stop at Walmart, and it's like, you know, because you need a fishing license if it's some state you've never been to or you don't have a license for that season. I grab a license, a cane pole, and some little pre-rigged hooks. A lot of times you can take a piece of yarn and make a fly, and that works just fine. or you can use leftover hot dog, whatever. It was pointed out in one of the videos, and I think that comment was on Facebook, but anyways, that I seem to be adverse to bait fishing. Absolutely not. It's just I prefer fly fishing, but I will bait fish. So yeah, that brings me on to the next one. I kind of joked about it in my good night message last night on Facebook, but I think towards the end of August or September, I as STFU and Fish, we will have a food chain fishing challenge. It'll be a virtual challenge. So just think about, if you want to get involved with it, think about what you need to get ready ahead of time. The goal here is to start by catching the smallest fish possible. Once you've caught that fish, then you're going to use that fish as bait for the next fish in the food chain. You're going to move all the way up to the food chain. I'll figure out 3 prizes, and we'll have a couple giveaways at the end of it. But yeah, I just thought that would be an epic challenge. So start thinking about it now, those of you who are anglers or you have kids that you want to fish with, to take fishing. Just think about it, and let's see what we can come up with. I've got an idea for the easiest way possible to win this, but I'm going to keep my mouth shut. I will fish it, but obviously I'll be excluded from winning. But yeah, I think it'll be a fun little contest. I don't care if you use Tenkara rods or you use proper Tanago rod at the beginning or what. Just fish the whole series. It's going to take multiple rods. Arguably, it will take multiple rods if you fish the entire food chain. But yeah, I think that'll be a fun one, so we'll do that. I already got my distance down for today. Today was an easy day. So I went and grabbed a couple things at Aldi, a couple things at Walmart. As I was coming out, I got my distance. Told you it's an easy day. 2,500 steps. Those are nothing days. But next week starts my high mileage again. So I have to start getting going. Heading back over here to the old bridge. I already see 2 vehicles. But my spot in the shade is open. I love parking in that shady spot. It's a beautiful old Ford truck. Spin around and get you a shot of that truck. I love the old Ford pickups. Kids running up to the bridge. Oh, I missed the button to turn the camera around. Did you hear that stick? I hate when people park like this guy did. He's right in the middle, just stopped. It's a cul-de-sac. I always try to get over and as far into the corner as possible to allow people to turn around. Anyway, I want to walk up on the bridge here and take a look. Might grab the 6-weight and see what we can dredge up. Although, I do have a popper on it. It's a big one. I think that's a size 8. Might need to go to a smaller one. See if we can catch us some sunfish or something. But let me go up and check it out, and I'll be back with you guys in a few. Alright, I'm just going to go grab the 2-weight and fish that shade line under the tree. And just see what we come up with. I'm not really one to say where you should and shouldn't burn a fire. But this is not the right spot. Too much fuel to burn. And I walked down to the river's edge and look what's right here. This would have been a more appropriate place to burn. Instead, they burned back up that way about 50 feet. So this is what I'm going to do, is just work this little shade line pool here. It's fairly deep, starts probably about a foot there and drops down to about 3 feet right on the edge before that grass. And I can see a lot of little guys moving around. Same thing with over here, right below the damselflies. So we'll give it a try and see what we come up with. Today's fly of choice. There we go. Oh, damn it. That one got away. Head in the hand, so he counts. Don't. He got off. Yay! Grass fish. Big old catalpa beans. I remember having wars with these things when we were kids. We had a tree in the front yard in our neighborhood, and we would just pick those things off and wail them at each other. If I can get her on camera. It's back over there. It came up from the river right back over here. That hawk was up in this dead tree. She came down and took a pass at me, a high-speed pass too. I was sitting there, I heard the wind going over the wings, and then she took off. I think this one is flying. I don't know if I'll catch him quick enough, but there's one flying back over here. I think that's the young of the year. But yeah, that was funny. I'm walking along, I'm all, minding my own business. I said, what the hell? 88. Feels like 94. It's a wee bit hot. But not too bad other than the humidity. Oh, that don't sound good. My low-hanging branch now hangs all the way down. It's not very thick, but it doesn't sound good when you're backing up. So I was talking about that one car parked in the wrong spot, so you can't do the loop. Our metal detectorists are there. Yep. Just running for a minute. I wanted to make sure if they were surveying. Now he's digging a little hole. Caught 4 sunfish, 5 sunfish, little guys, but I was just clowning around because I wanted to be in the shade. And obviously that's where the fish are going to be. Saw male smallie. I'm assuming it's a male, but the young were following him around, and they were all 3-4 inches long. So there's probably 6 or 8 little smallmouth, and then the bigger one was probably about 12. I figured the little guys had chased that grub of sorts that I had on there, but I just watched it float by. I thought the grass was bad at the old bridge at Electric Park. It's all the way across the river. You can't even see the bottom. So I guess that spot's going to be out till probably the end of August. I'm going to head back. You know the drill. Get this video up for you probably around 6 o'clock for Facebook and YouTube subscribers. Page followers on Facebook will get it around 7 p.m. It's just the way I space them out. So if you want them first, right here, you know the deal. Like and subscribe. You know, I forgot to talk about tomorrow. Tomorrow, we'll go creek fishing. Just seems like a good day. Tomorrow, the weather's kind of, I don't know, it's okay. I'm going to take a look real quick just to make sure. See if it's changed. Yep, 91, partly cloudy, 76 degrees is the low. I think the feel like tomorrow is supposed to be 100. So yeah, it's a good day to hit a creek. Stay in the shade with the cool water running over your legs. That'll work. All right, that's it. Be good, be well, wear your masks. See you guys tomorrow.